up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gablim, and Mr. Mawia. What's up? Second day of UAAP Season 88.
And after two
not as
bangers
close.
yesterday, we got two blowouts. Snoozers.
To be fair, one was surprising, one was not. We'll talk more about that later. But today, I think what we're going to do, we'll do a recap of all the games over the weekend. Yung statement, we will fill in the statement. It's just one game, but we always do this at the start of every season where we overreact to the first game of the first.
Wait lang, Sam. Before we get to our sponsored segment, I do want to make a clarification. These are overreactions, as Sammy said. Okay, overreactions. After that, that's the theme of the segment. Just one game, but blah. So we will say crazy things. Do not get mad. Okay, that's the point of it. We love doing this. Okay, if we say something crazy or it may sound stupid to some of you, it's because they are over.
Most of them are probably crazy or
kalmado lang.
Or most, if not, some of them are crazy. Or
some will come true.
Posible.
Some can come true.
Henry Agunani one from last season.
Oo nga, yung overreaction mo kay Agunani. But injured daw ko na, diba? So, okay. So, yun, just to be clear, overreactions. But before we get started, a word from our sponsors for today. AC Tech Repair PH. Tech problems can be frustrating. A dead phone, a crashing laptop, an iPad that won't start. That's why so many people in Metro Manila rely on AC Tech Repair PH. They're trusted for accurate diagnostics and quality repairs that last. With free diagnostics, free Metro Manila pickup and delivery, and warranties up to 6 months, you're covered every step of the way. For reliable, worry-free repairs, remember, AC Tech Repair PH. So thank you again to AC Tech Repair PH. And if you're interested, if you have a busted phone, busted laptop, or any tech that you want to have repaired, check out their Facebook page. We'll link them down below in the comments.
I cannot recommend this sponsor enough because I personally use them. And
I think all three of us.
They repair everything
All
kasi.
three of us.
So, it's great. Actually, fair prices. I would say very transparent. I rate them a 5 out of 5. Haven't had a bad experience with AC Tech Repair.
Shout out sa AC Tech Repair. Okay, let's get started. It's just one game, but you can overreact on any game, any player. Doesn't have to be a specific team or whatever. Let's start with the Sultan of Sando.
I actually had so many versions of this first answer. It's just one game, but Colin Sakoe was the right choice over Peter Osang for this season. Now, that may not be an overreaction to some of you. Diba? There are some of you who were saying that Colin Sakoe was the right choice. But if you followed Boleros before, you know how much I was a critic of them picking Colin Sakoe over Peter Osang. But after just one game, I think UST made the right choice. Because holy shit! He destroyed the UP Fighting Maroons. He destroyed the UP Fighting Maroons, the huge front line of the UP Fighting Maroons. He made them look puny. He fouled out 2 of their bigs. He fouled out his former teammate Miguel Palanca in 10 minutes. He fouled out Sean Alter in 7. He made Stevens look weak. I couldn't believe what I was watching. They couldn't my worry was that he couldn't keep up with the pace of UST, and through the first quarter, it seemed apparent he was a bit winded. That's why they put in si Eco Laure. But I don't think they subbed him out in the third quarter, and he was on UP 14. He shot 21 free throws. Now, he made just 11, but still, he went to the line 21 times. 29 points, 17 rebounds. He was dominating. I couldn't believe it. This is the most vulnerable and weak I've seen the UP Fighting Marines look in the UAAP. Because humabol naman sila. They were hitting some shots, especially in the second quarter. But I just can't believe how much Collins Okoye dominated them. And they weren't just hacking Collins Okoye. They were really, it was really Collins Okoye being aggressive and drawing fouls. They could not do anything. He was crashing the basket. He was active on the glass. This is how effective he was. There were some in the first half they were running plays for him and he was effective. Second half they weren't even running that many plays for him and he was still effective. Diba? Yun yung impressive. Diba? He was just getting offensive rebounds, getting putbacks, hustling for the basketball. I have no idea. I was telling this to you, Maui. I have no idea why there wasn't a long drawn out sweepstakes or why he wasn't the biggest name in recruitment out of high school. Because if this is the way he plays, my goodness, I think is UST in the finals now? I think UST should be a finals favorite if Collins always plays this way. Who's stopping him? Who's stopping him in the UAAP? Mike Phillips, for probably the only answer left. Who is stopping Collins Okoye? A legit question. I don't know, but I think I've been proven wrong, and I'm happy. And that an incredible performance for his first game ever in the UAAP. 29 points, 17 rebounds. Just one block, but a spectacular block. I think it wasn't sino block si Alter ata. Si Sean Alter or si Belmonte yung binlock niya. Unstoppable. I cannot believe that and the fact that UP was still forcing single coverage on him throughout the game is kind of baffling to me. At some point, just double him to beat you. Just don't let Collins Okoye beat you. Just don't let him go one-on-one and draw fouls and get your bigs in foul trouble. This was, I would say, one of the fine. It's one of the worst coached games I've seen Coach Gold and Coach Tom Chua have. I mean, starting with the double big lineup, their double big lineup just sucked. Just taking advantage of by the UP perimeter, by the UST perimeter players. And the fact that they went double big and still could not stop the lone big on UST. I don't get it. I think there's and Coach Gold was trying to find and I parang trend na to na Coach Gold is just shuffling his entire roster in the first quarter, just trying to find some LA Andres in the first quarter. It's wild yung that he did that. So yeah, Collins Okoye, he proved me wrong. UST, you got a gem. You got a gem. You're probably the MVP for the next how many seasons if he continues at this pace. Heck, he could even be the MVP for this season. I know he's not eligible, but I don't care about the MVP award. It's racist. No, name our own MVP, and he could probably be a rookie MVP. Because how can you deny the production that he showed in this game? Maui, Sam, I'm sure you guys were impressed.
Yeah, actually, Maui, I want to hear your thoughts. Pero I feel like we all have our own version of our Collins Ako overreactions. I love the statement from Gab. Maui, do you have like your own version? Kasi I have. I'm curious where you're going.
Yeah, I was posting in social media that the Collins ako look like Giannis Antetokounmpo at some
Pwede,
point of the
pwede.
game. Not just scoring on the post. Not just scoring on the post, but driving from the top of the perimeter and distributing, creating from the top of the perimeter. That I did not see happening. I think a huge part of his success sa debut niya in the UAAP has to be with USD conditioning coaches, strength and conditioning. It looked like a misfit in the USD offense. But today, he was a center point with Fortsky not playing despite si Paranada having a big game. He was the center force. He was basically the one that was directing the offense for USD, and he was the offense for today. And I think one of the things that Gab mentioned was he was able to get 14 fouls. And if you look at yung free throw shooting ng USD, as a shooting team, they actually continue to grab to get some fouls. Definitely USD will get some easy opportunities to score from the line, because this is a team that is known for a lot of shooters, for guys who want to shoot from the outside. And I think it's pretty underrated what USD was able to do to UP today, kasi 3-point land. And during the off-season, they had to shoot pretty well from the outside to be able to get wins. And pretty impressive. Definitely pretty impressive. Collins ako looking at like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kyle Panada looking like it's not an understatement that this is probably one of the worst coached game by maybe si Tom Chuaus, the defensive coordinator of UP. They couldn't figure out what to do the whole game with UST. I think that's one of the main reasons why si Coach Gold had to play 13 players today. 13 players. And if you watch the first half, in the first 15 minutes of the game, that's how desperate they were to find a player to launch yung momentum nila and to try to give them some energy off the bench to correct their defensive mishaps. And it's crazy. We talked about UST as potentially becoming a team that would disappoint despite being the host. But this debut by Akoe and how Paranada played with him makes me want to say that maybe it was a blessing that they lost their FSA mass today.
Wow. Motong Kara was incredible.
Motong Kara. Wow, yeah.
Sammy, go ahead.
Biglang nakalimutan si Motong Kara, 'di ba? Okay, I love the Collins Ako overreactions. I do have one myself. Again, overreaction. It's just one game, but Collins Ako is a top 3 FSA. Overreaction ko.
I love it.
Bala comparisons nga di ba? I think there's
exactly.
very balanced comparisons in social media right now.
Exactly. People are comparing him to Ben Mbala. And when I think about like top 3 FSAs, you have Ben Mbala, you have Ange Kwame, you probably have
Malik.
from UP. Malik Diouf, right? But Malik Diouf. But Collins Ako's debut was so dominant. Gab, you mentioned yung UP had to use all their big men. Na-miss laro siya today. So at least he was good for 5 fouls.
Minutes ever
Diba?
played.
At least he would get minutes. But he was so dominant, and I do like, to be fair, I think fair yung Ben Mbala comparisons when you talk about yung dominance na he was just overpowering the guys that were guarding him. So, my question is potential top 3 FSA of all time. Just talking about the dominance. Because right now, when I think about it, parang tama ka sa gabi. Mike Phillips probably is the only one who's the best bet to stop this guy. The other teams might have a hard time stopping Collins Akowe if he's always playing like this. And what I love about Akowe, just like Ben Mbala, every time medyo medyo may angas din tong si Collins Akowe, or he would just laugh it off kapag fina-foul siya. Very entertaining to watch. You talked about the one block, Gab. He got credited for one block, but he definitely altered a lot of shots. There was like a shot by Chico Briones, I think, na nagulat siya nandun si Collins ako and na out patay butike, di ba? Like parang back of the board lang yung tinaman or something. So this guy is scary, and sort of related to this. I'm cheating a bit, but sisingit ko na rin yung isang overreaction ko. It's just one game, but they have a dominant big man in Collins Akowe. That's something that they really needed last season. I know si Tongkara was there, but Collins Akowe is a rebounder, a rebounding monster. And that's what they need this year. Like Sinalen, Lemit, Crisostomo, we talked about them, and they still have their stars. Si Fortsky and si Nick Cabanero. So, if Collins Akowe plays like this and everybody will just be okay, will contribute evenly, UST can be the scariest team in season 88 for me. So that's my overreaction. Now, going to the UP side, you guys mentioned it, one of the worst, ano ba? Sabi niyo worst coach games. I'm actually curious, is this the one of the worst losses of UP during the non-final 4 games? Kasi I think sa championship, I think nawala si Gab, but I think sa championship nagtambakan yung Lasal and UP nung season 86. So, but other than that, is this like the worst Maui? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say it is one of the worst losses, and I think it's why a lot of people are overreacting and saying that this UP team is not good. This UP team is like the olden times UP team before even si coach before even Coach Gold and
Sorry,
everything.
to clarify pala dun sa mga listeners, one of the worst
Coach
losses of Coach Gold sa
Yeah.
elimination era. Yeah.
I would say even si Coach Bo. I think, di ba? Sorry, I forgot si Coach Bo. But I think it's one of the worst losses of UP in the elimination round. Maybe you could say that they lost some games. Like, I think there was a game that Coach Bo got blown out by Coach Tab nung time nila Kobe Paras. But this was unexpected, di ba? UP as the number 1 team coming into this season. It's one of the main reasons why the 3 of us are not even certain if LaSalle is the number 1 sa power rankings natin right now. And we've been saying that these 2 teams, LaSalle and UP, are still the 1 and 2, but I've also been saying that maybe the gap is not that big, and maybe I can get that to my next overreaction.
Let's go with this.
Just one. Sorry, yung nawala ako, so I wasn't able to catch the rest of the conversation. But I just want to get to some points about UST. One, crowd, amazing. Home court advantage played a part in this, definitely, for UST performing the way they did. The other thing, too much one-on-one for UST. I think when UP made its run in the second quarter, I thought UST's offense was damn ugly. Coach Pido and the coaching staff, come on, you gotta do something other than let guys go one-on-one. Because UP feasts off those types of plays. When players just try to go and do it themselves, UP loves to force turnovers off. Yun lang. Nothing else. Next, it's just one game, but Maui, go ahead.
It's muted. It's just one game, but Noy Remogat looks like a bust.
Ooh.
I have the same.
And I'm saying
Overreaction.
And I'm saying this,
Overreaction, to be clear.
and I'm saying this despite being the key man to lead UP over LaSalle ng Philoil semifinals. Go for the guards that he trusts more, yung veterans na, the NU guys, the Maroon 5, di ba, yung the ones graduating. It seems like Remogat still hasn't been able to adjust fully to playing for a championship team. We know that Noy Remogat can put up the stats. We know Noy Remogat could score a ton of points, do some crazy playmaking, basically be fireworks for any team in the UAAP. Good yung transition so far to a championship team. I think a lot of people had some concerns with Jacob Cortez moving from the NCAA to the UAAP, but so far, I would say that the transition for Noy Remogat has been a lot harder than it has been for Jacob Cortez sa LaSalle. Diba? The expectations, kasi they said Jacob Cortez is a proven talent. He's coming from the NCAA. Si Remogat naman, they said Noy Remogat was an MVP contender, is a proven UAAP talent, but so far, it doesn't look good. And I don't know if this is something that will be a continuing trend for UP with regards to Noy Remogat. But it looks like it's going to be an up and down season for me. There will be games that he will be top scoring or leading the team to victories, and there will be games that he'll be playing. When the guards of the other teams are rolling, I think Coach Gold will go with the trusted Felicil, with the trusted Forte, Alarcon, Abadiano, with these guards, because he knows that these guys can play both ends of the floor. And these guys know his system more than Noy Remogat. So yeah.
I had this lined up also, but in a different version, so I'll say mine. It's just one game, but Noy Remogat's transfer to UP was the worst decision of his career. Yeah. I think that's pretty warranted yung after this game. He played 9 minutes, but honestly, 4 minutes of those were garbage time. He played, I think he played 5:39 before I think he airballed his first 3, missed the second, and then he was pulled. I mean, this was the guy who was playing 30 plus minutes a night, putting up 20 and 10s for the UE Red Warriors and winning. I mean, they were about to enter the Final Four. Remember 3 that eliminated them. So they were on the rise. He was the system in UE. He was the system. He had the ball in his hands all the time. And this looks like a move that could potentially derail his career. He probably got the bag. I mean, it's good for him there. He probably got a ton of benefits from moving to UP. But basketball-wise, he just doesn't fit. And I think I mentioned this. When the news was announced that Noy Remogat was transferring to UP, we went, and a few of my concerns with Noy Remogat going to UP is one, he's going to a team that thrives on defense. Every single one of their 5 guys can play defense. He is not a defender. He has never been that in his tenure with UP. So I was looking for if coming into this season, and my other concern is going to a team that does not rely on one person to be the system. They have a set system. They share the basketball. They move the ball around. They go to different guys. They trust that everyone will make the right play. He has not played that way before he transferred to UP. Again, in UE, he had the ball in his hands all the time. He basically did whatever he wanted in the offense. This is not that. And I think for now, again, overreaction, it looks like a fit for him in the UP Fighting Maroons. For now, it looks like he should have stayed in UE. At least in UE, he was getting his numbers, and he could perhaps get a pro contract there, just putting up numbers. And now you go here to UP and you're playing 9 minutes. Actually, he would have scored just 2 points because his 3 points was just garbage time points. So, again, overreaction, don't get mad, but this was terrible for Remogat. Sammy.
Yeah, siguro what again, this is an overreaction. I just can't help but reiterate that. Pero what sort of warrants this overreaction is um in Phil Oil, there were games na ganito din si Noy Remogat, diba? I think like except for that fourth quarter burst against LaSalle, he also was bad for the first like 3 quarters. So that's what's worrisome siguro. If you're and perform like this on his very first game in the UAAP, if you want to think about the positives, if you want to call it positive, everybody had a bad game for UP, I think. Gabby mentioned Harold Alarcon. He scored the 11 points in the first half and then didn't score any na ata in the second half. So, I mean, everybody had a bad game. Baka hindi lang baka it's just one of those days na everybody just had the bad games. So, you don't like seeing this as a first game for a player that you've waited for a year. Maui, you juxtaposed him to Jacob Cortez, who willed his team to victory yesterday. So it sucks. If you're a UP fan, I would be a little bit worried. Yun, I agree. Okay. Any other points before we move on?
Marami. With regards to the UP Fighting Maroons, I had other just one game, pero sige, let's reserve it for later in the episode siguro. But yeah, I thought their defense was good in the second quarter. You talk about the decision not to double Colin Sokowe despite the fact that he has been destroying whoever was put on him. At some point, just don't make him make a move. Just get the ball out of his hands, diba? The others, just too many gambles. Well, this is how UP plays defense talaga. Yung they gamble a lot. But the gambles did not pay off. Wasted on players you don't want to foul at, and then I don't know. It looks bad right now. Their offense looks out of sync, to be honest. Their offense look lost. They didn't know what to do. So, bad start for the UP Fighting Maroons. But I think it'll course correct. I think we've seen them have games like these, and I think that they will be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think just to add, I think just
Bawi.
you just you see the value of losing a JD Kagulangan. You see the value of not having QMB
Francis
early on.
Lopez
But
din.
it's a long season, as they say. Diba? Francis Lopez, who could play multiple positions, so versatility. But they still have the talent. I mean, they've proven in the past that they can win tournaments, the Phil Oil tournament, dominantly. They still have the talent. They still have the potential. So let's see how they bounce back. Not a lot of teams lose the first game and still win the championship. Diba? It's not uncommon in the UAAP.
Okay, moving on. It's just the first game, but I hate to say this, pero UE might end up winless this season. It's tough for me.
Pag tayo makarma at matalo ang Ateneo sa UE on Wednesday,
UE nga pala yung susunod sa Ateneo!
I am going to smack you so hard.
UE
Next
nga
time
pala
tayo
yung susunod sa
mag-basketball.
Ateneo, no?
Oh my God, hindi kita papasahan. Promise. Pag tayo makarma, ha?
Okay. No, I'm just saying this because actually there were some positives sa UE. I think like some players were like surprisingly good dun sa game nila kanina. I think they kept it close up until parang sa third lang ata sila natambakan or naiwanan eh. Yeah. Middle of the third. So, those were like I think surprising to me na they kept it close with NU. I just want, ito lang yung overreaction ko because we were expecting like Precious Momoe, John Abate, or maybe like Awelo Lingolingo to score average like 20 plus points for this team. They were that good. They have the talent. They were that good last season, but they couldn't do that against NU today. And I think it's going to be tough for them if Precious Momoe and John Abate are just going to average like 10 or 12 points in a game. I think that's going to be tough offensively for them. So, that's where I'm going with my overreaction. I think they can do better. I just feel like parang walang nagbago din for Precious Momoe for me. So that's what I'm worried about sa UE team na to. But nakalimutan ko, Ateneo pala kalaban nila. Dapat hindi ko sinabi.
Di bale, on Wednesday, John Abate will score 30 against Ateneo. Di ba? If sila pa sa all can score that many points, maybe si John Abate will give Ateneo the best.
That's true.
And Ateneo fans will all be blaming you for saying that UE will be winless.
I will definitely be blaming you. But to shout out the surprises from UE, Draco Willie, Kawile, I think
Kawili, who was just like a walk-on ba? Tama?
Yeah.
Yun yung kwento. Linapitan lang niya yung coach
si Chris
during a Phil Oil game?
Nilapitan niya during a Phil Oil game. Tapos sabi ko,
is that true?
Okay, you come try out. And he made the team. And they call him the Justin Brownlee of UE. I'm like what? You're comparing this guy to Justin Brownlee? So, yeah, but I think he's a decent wing. Has some moves.
Looks good.
Didn't do a lot a while ago, but, looks good. The new backup point guard is Mark Taniedo, who I think is fresh out of high school. Very fast, very entertaining to watch. Reminds me a lot of Jedlock Sin from NU. Small guard, really fast to get to the basket.
Nawalan si Muling Tapang ng
supplanted Muling Tapang. Muling Tapang didn't even play, I think. So he didn't get off the bench. 4
minutes.
Ayun, baka ng garbage time kasi tumigil na ako manood ng fourth quarter kasi blowout eh. I mean, 20 points na yung lamang. Anong papanoorin ko dito? So, yun, Nur Tatumalim showed some flashes. Lim kasi. So, some bright spots, but overall, I don't want to say winless because I do think they can have a hot game if they have these type of players who can contribute naman. But I had something for UE, and it wasn't to the whole UE team, but my overreaction is regarding Precious Momoe. It's just one game, but Precious Momoi is the most disappointing FSA I have ever seen in
Di
the
ba?
UAAP. He has not improved at all.
Parang
And
exactly
it,
the same, no?
yeah, he's exactly the same as when he was a rookie with Noy Remogat on this UE team in season 86. He makes the exact same boneheaded plays. He tries to do it himself. He doesn't trust his teammates. He gets angry. He commits stupid fouls. He still misses his free throws. What has changed? It's so disappointing. He remember in season 86, Maui Sam, there were rumors na other teams, UP, were trying to get him from
Kasal din.
UE.
Lasal din,
Oh,
yeah.
yung En Lasal. Remember, I said team, so I was referring to both, and so it's it's really baffling for me how in the next couple of seasons after season 86, he's still the same player, making the same mistakes. There was a statement by Coach Chris Cavina that they was targeting the EuroLeague, diba? To be a EuroLeague player. I'm like, bro, really? And you still keep doing this shit? Um, Honestly, I expected more from Precious Momoway this season. I mean, with the lack of talent on their team, they have to rely heavily on him. But come on, you have to be better, diba? You have to hit your shots in the paint. You have to stop trying to go one on one like you're Kevin Durant and then spin move and then you trip. Diba? You have to stop doing that. It hurts your team. Rely on your teammates to get you the ball in spots where you are effective. Don't just try to take over everything every time. It was so painful to watch Precious. I mean, see Omar John got two early fouls. I thought, oh, this is Precious monster game. Still no.
He
He's,
got two
he's
fouls in less than a minute, in less than 30
yeah.
seconds.
It was his time to have a monster game, and he still could not do it. All he has to do is just park himself in the paint. Heck, can you just watch Colin Sakoe? Just crash the boards, get your ass in the paint, and score baskets in the paint. Stop trying to go one-on-one with all these handles move. Yes, we want you to develop that, but you obviously don't have it yet. Stop it! Yun. That's my overreaction to today's game. No, he's not a he who must not be named from Ateneo naman from last season. I know that. So so it's not the most disappointing. Pero it's an overreaction to me is disappointing because no improvement whatsoever. Maui.
Maui, it's just one game. But
Yeah. Yeah, I think yung reaction kay Precious Momoway is warranted. It's not even an overreaction in my opinion. Just because the expectations were pretty high. I mean, I was calling this guy the best FSA. I think in one off season. But that's how crazy. That's how high we thought he could. Yung ceiling niya. But it hasn't really translated on the court, and it doesn't look different. I think that's one of the main reasons why UE continues to be a cellar dweller team, diba? Despite retaining its services. Diba? He should have been their centerpiece, but that hasn't been the case. It's been completely the same, and I think it's ludicrous that he's targeting the EuroLeague. Maybe that's why he plays like that. He wants to show that he can play as a wing. But he has to dominate first before he can do that. He has to show that he can dominate smaller defenders before he can do that. And I think maganda yung sinabi ni Gab that he should watch si Colin Sakoe and how he uses his strength and height in the UAAP. I think it could happen, UE getting 0 and 14. If things don't, if Abate doesn't have a big game with another person, maybe that could happen. But it's not looking good for UE. Definitely even worse than it was in the second round. I think that's a bit crazy to think. Imagine what they went through in the second round and now this. My next overreaction has to do with the shirt I'm wearing. It's just one game, but Jared Bahay should be maybe in the top 3 of Gab's next point guard rankings. Not top 5.
Oh.
Not top 5. In the
Tinarget
top
ako ni
3.
Maui.
Because I believe there are certain guards. Maybe I'll just name one. Maybe si Jacob Cortez could be the best. We haven't seen Fortsky yet this season. We'll see him next game. But with what Jared Bahay did in his first game for Ateneo, I think that just shows that he's him for Ateneo. Kimaniladi might have had the numbers. Escobar might have been the best player in the first half. But who did Ateneo go to when their backs were against the wall? When they needed a bucket, when they needed somebody to rescue them down from the hole. Not just in the overtime, but also during the fourth quarter. It was Jared Bahay. And I think it shows. It finally shows because people have been asking the past year, why the hype for a guy like Jared Bahay? And I think it shows now that he's playing for a team that's probably has the capability or the potential to make it to the Final Four. A decent team. I'll use si Mason said they want a decent team, di ba, in Ateneo. And I think Jared Bahay finally has the supporting cast, finally has the firepower to lead this Ateneo team to the Final Four. So sabihin ko na rin, it's just an overreaction, but Ateneo could be a dark horse finals team for season 88. Because
Yan.
of the
Nakirect
pieces
na si
I
Maui
saw.
sa mga subscribers natin.
Okay, kinig na tayo. Makikinig na tayo. Could be pa lang. Could be. Because of all the pieces they have in what I've seen with the leadership shown by Jared Bahay in Game 1.
I agree.
Gab, anong reaction mo doon? Ayan. Kasi top 5 mo yun.
If we were to make if we were to make another list of my top 5, I would probably have Jared Bahay at 3 or 4. 4 lowest, but 3 I could definitely see. Maybe see Jacob Cortez. I could put him at number 1. Maybe si Fortsky is still there. Maybe you could argue maybe si Jan Ray deserves the third spot also with what he showed yesterday.
LeBron-esque numbers.
Diba? The LeBron-esque numbers that he put up, but definitely Jared Bahay was incredible. And if you had an updated rankings of the top point guards, you would definitely slot him into that list. And maybe you'd pull Noy Remogat down because he's not playing. He's in the doghouse in UP. But I think we covered this yesterday sa amin, Maui. I think he has it. He is definitely the main guy in Ateneo. Coach Tab has mentioned many times that he has Jared Bahay as one of his top options, his leaders. He's one of the co-captains. I'm not arguing with that, Maui. I think that I don't even think that's an overreaction after yesterday. Sammy.
Yeah, I think it's fair. We were expecting a lot from Jared Bahay. I think that's why even before medyo mababa yung ranking ni Gab siguro because ang taas talaga ng expectations eh. So if you don't meet parang close to perfection, diba? Like if you don't meet that, it's sort of like a disappointment. But he definitely did not disappoint yesterday, and I think it's not an overreaction in the sense na I don't think yesterday was a fluke. I think we're going to see more of that from Jared Bahay in the next few games, in the next few years. So I think that's warranted. Dun sa Ateneo pick na, ano sabi mo? It's just one game but Ateneo is a dark horse finals contender. I do like that. I actually sort of have something similar na it's just one game but another team might make it to the finals this season other than LaSalle or UP. It's just that interesting, I think, or balanced this year. First, Ateneo looks really good. Ateneo looks like they're back pero hindi pa ako mag-overreact on Ateneo. We'll see. But Ateneo looks really good from what we saw yesterday. Adamson surprised us. They held LaSalle to what, like 60 points with their defense, and I think etong Adamson team na to could be one of the best Adamson teams since the Jerome Lastimosa era. I think they're more complete now. They have a better supporting cast. They have more size. So I think they can really compete. NU won convincingly today, even though it was only against UE. But another team that looks complete. They have Omar John. They actually have an FSA. And obviously, you have UST. Probably, for now, after one game, the what most people will consider a finals contender. Maybe you would put UST up there in the top tier list with LaSalle and UP. So we might not see a LaSalle or a UP finals, LaSalle UP finals this season.
Yeah. So Sam, you want to go next or?
Hindi, yun yung ano ko next ko. It's just one game, but we're not gonna see a LaSalle UP finals this season.
I don't even. That's crazy after one game. Yeah.
I'm saying one team, it could be LaSalle or UP, either one of them could be out. So yun yung but not both, I'm not saying both, just to be clear.
I think that's a fair overreaction, to be honest. I mean, LaSalle showed that kaya silang dikitan ng Adamson, a team that they dominated last season. UP has a lot to figure out. They have to figure out a ton of things. My God. So I'm gonna go with a statement, and it concerns FEU because I think we have to give a shout out to FEU. And I think I mentioned this to you guys when we were watching the game yesterday. It's just one game, but John Ray Pasaol is making the mythical team. Or, sorry, the all-elite team. Hindi na pala siya mythical team. The all-elite team. I'm sorry. So, that's a new name. But I think he's making it. That's my overreaction to yesterday's game. I mean, he's going to have all the usage in the world. He's going to have minutes, usage. He's running the entire offense of this FEU team. I will not be surprised if he gets the slot a la yung Ray Remogat in season 86. Remember yung Ray Remogat? His team did not make the Final Four. Almost did, but he made the mythical team because he was putting up a ton of numbers because he was the engine of that UE offense. John Ray Pasaol is now the engine of this FEU offense. Without VJ Pre and Joric being mainly a scorer/shooter, si John Ray talaga yung gumagawa ng lahat. And I think he could put up not these types, not 24, 9, and 11 with 2 steals and a block. I don't think that's sustainable. But you can put me down to 17 points per game with 8 or 9 assists per game. Couple that with around 5 to 6 rebounds a game. That's crazy numbers for UAAP standards. So, you gotta give a shout out to John Ray. He's looked good. Someone said that he's gonna score 50 points like his brother, si Alvin Pasaol.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna say that could be an overreaction, diba? Like
that
that's
could be
perfect.
A fair overreaction. Yeah. So put me down for the John Ray Pasaol breakout season. He impressed me yesterday.
I love that pick. Crazy lang how John Ray scored yesterday, and I love yung comment na yon because it's a Pasaol tradition to score a ton of points and flex on the other team. Hindi nagfe-flex pala si Pasaol. Ganun pala si Pasaol. So I'm up for it. Basta wag lang against Ateneo.
Feel ko nga yung kailangan niya against Ateneo gawin eh. I mean, feel ko kailangan Ateneo yung kalaban niya every game para gumawa siya ng ganun eh.
Gumawa siya ng ganun eh.
Diba? Joric and John Ray just do this against Ateneo all the time. Since last season, parang every time they see blue, they're like bulls and they see blue. I'm like, I'm gonna elevate my game.
They smell blood.
They smell blood. Maui, go ahead. If you have another statement, go lang.
Yeah, I like yung maganda yung statement ni Gab about that John Ray Pasol, and I think buti na lang kasi FEU fans really need this. They need somebody to anchor their future after losing a very big name nung off season. I won't say the name anymore. But it looks like I would say that FEU could, with the way that they played against Ateneo. I don't know if they were just that hot, Pasaol and Bautista, but I like how si Pasaol was able to score in the paint. Diba? When you're a guard, you will get shots from the perimeter. Now it's a question if he can make them or not at a consistent rate. Pasaol struggled yesterday, but getting to the basket is super hard with all of these FSAs, all of these taller power forwards in the UAAP. It wasn't like before. Diba? When you were a 6-foot guard, 6'1 guard, you can easily score against a 6'5 big man or 6'4 big man. It's different now. And I think that's one of the things that's one of the reasons why we want FSAs to continue to stay in the UAAP, because we get players like Crisostomo play power forward, small forward instead of playing center. Diba? But I think my overreaction to FEU is a hit to myself. I think FEU has a chance to make the Final Four with what they showed against Ateneo. I think it's gonna be a question of can Konate, Pasaol, and Bautista be injury free the whole season with the minutes that the mileage that they're getting, the minutes that they're playing. But if these three are able to sustainably play 35 minutes a game and get this kind of production from these three players, I think that FEU has an outside chance to make the Final Four. I think si Felipe is somebody to track for also. I like how he played. He's very unorthodox, driving to the basket. Sabi nga namin ni Sammy, parang chamba, pero it looks natural to him because he kept on doing it.
Weird yung galaw niya.
Very unorthodox. Sort of like a Kasim Mirza before from UST. Very unorthodox movement of the body. But I like yung length niya. I like how he was able to hang with power forwards despite being a shooter and maybe a shooting guard, small forward in the making. I think that they have the potential to become a Final Four team, because we haven't seen the best of Mongkopa. We haven't seen Adam Nakay. We haven't seen Jedrick Daa. Can he improve from the previous season? I think that they will be able to replace VJ Pre by committee with what I've seen so far. Si Montevideo was also pretty good as a slasher yesterday. So si Ona will probably start, but will probably get 10 minutes maximum per game. To the delight of FEU fans. But I think my overreaction is that we're massively underrating this FEU team. They could make a Final Four run. Hopefully, they don't start 0-5 like previous seasons, like I've said.
Yung nga pala, no? Oh, which reminds me, since you mentioned Ora, Baguna didn't play. Si Baguna yung starter nung preseason. I wonder what happened to him. He was starting in preseason. Yeah, he didn't play.
0
Kasi
minutes.
it was
0 minutes.
Montemayor, Mongkopa, and Felipe. Oo nga, coming off the bench, yeah.
So, Baguno didn't play. Actually, si Liam Salangsang, who I thought would be the backup point guard, didn't even get off the bench.
Yeah.
So, sometimes the preseason that doesn't really tell you much. So, I'll go with another overreaction since we're about to end this. And it's about UP again. It's just one game, but the Harold Alarcon breakout is not coming. I think at this, as an overreaction, I've lost confidence in Harold Alarcon to have any semblance of consistency. He can't even be consistent for one entire game, as shown earlier against UST. He had a hot second quarter, scored 11 points in the first half. Second half, itlog. Walang ginawa. Didn't even try to take over the game. They didn't even try to demand the ball. And I don't know. We've been calling the Harold Alarcon breakout for this is the third season we've been calling for the Harold Alarcon breakout, and it has not materialized. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it's ever gonna materialize. She's just so inconsistent. She just disappears. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if it's instructions from Coach Gold. Just don't try. I don't know. It just pains me to see because I know he has the talent and you can see flashes where he is just incredible offensively. He can take over games, and for this UP team, they need someone like that. They need someone to stabilize them and just get offense when they need it. Diba? Sometimes ang kalat talaga nila eh. Kasi kanina, they were doing these crazy home run passes that surprise ka lang, what? Yan yung pass na yung that you chose to make. You don't want to slow it down, grind it out. You're playing into UST style eh. Kanina, they were playing.
Uncharacteristic.
Oo. So they need someone like Harold to calm the ship. Diba? Learn from JD. When things aren't going, calm down, set it up. Don't try to rush everything. I thought we would get that from Harold this season. As an overreaction, it looks like we're not. I don't know. I'm so tired of hyping up Harold Alarcon every single season and then not getting it. Sammy, Maui, last reactions.
Yeah, I think disappointed.
yeah.
Disappointed is a term that you could use for Harold Alarcon just because we had expectations were so high to the point that I think even KBL teams were scouting him before, and I don't know if that will still be the case. Will he still be able to prove that he deserves to play abroad? I'm thinking the ceiling has closed and maybe he has to play first sa PBA and show that he can play abroad.
And I was gonna say, he also had the most minutes sa team kanina. So you can't, sometimes kasi yung tendency is sa Coach Gold teams is you get limited minutes, usually like 20 minutes, okay na. But he had the most minutes. So he had the most opportunities. A guy that we were high on nung preseason, was really good nung preseason, Jerry Abadiano, only played 8 minutes. So you sort of have an excuse for Jerry, scary Jerry, na parang, hindi siya gumawa, 8 minutes lang din linaro niya. But a lot of people are expecting a lot from Harold, and he's sort of clearly the star supposedly of this team because he's one of the best players and he's one of the vets. The problem with guys like si Ray Remogat, even though maybe he has a brighter star, he's a superstar kuno sa UE, he's not really a vet in UP. He's new to the system, like what you guys mentioned kanina. So that's the thing. This is clearly Harold's team this year. So the expectations are extra high for him. I think that's the problem. But yeah, again, just to close this, these are all overreactions. Sinadya talaga namin na medyo controversial yung iba sa mga statements namin, just to make sure na that's clear with everyone. Before we end, any last statements, Maui?
Sana most of the game days are like day 1, not day 2. We want the games to be close.
Totoo
We
ba?
want games.
Di yata kaya ng puso ko. Grabe.
We
Grabe
want
yung
games
stress.
that go down the wire, di ba? Kahit below 10 points yung average margin for the day, not naman close to 20. We want to not close our TVs, di ba? During the third quarter when UA is trailing by 20. Nail biters will always be the best for us. Kahit yung weekend games, di ba? Kasi busy yung mga tao pag pag weekdays. Maybe we can reserve the weekday games, mas blowout. But yeah, so far so good for the UAAP. I think it's gonna be unpredictable across the board. I think a lot of teams are showcasing something different. Some are good, some are bad. But si Colin Sakoe was amazing yesterday. Jared Bahay is another name. Kimani Ladi was legit. John Ray Pasaol was also unexpected. Diba? Everybody said that Bautista will score 30, 25 points a game, and out of nowhere, Pasaol has an almost triple-double with 4 steals, 2 blocks, I think. So crazy. So hopefully more crazy things for the UAAP.
Last pala, nakalimutan ko na. Last before we really end it. It's just one game. But can we please have more of Ken Tuffin on the call? I love the accent. That Kiwi accent is incredible to hear, and he's really good. He's very detailed as an analyst. I have to say, he's among all of the
Smart.
analysts so far, yung that we've had, I've liked Ken Tuffin. So just one game, but let's have more Ken Tuffin.
We love new blood sa mga analysts din natin. One last thing on my end naman. I do love one bright thing about UP today was I do love the new jerseys. Yung detailing, the maroon and gold detailing tapos green sa side, medyo parang may sablay vibe din. I do love that. So those jerseys were fire. Sayang, hindi lang sila nanalo. So that's it for today's episode. Welcome back to the UAAP, everyone. We hope you will stay tuned. We hope you will listen to all our episodes for the entire UAAP Season 88. If you haven't yet, please do like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment down below your overreactions for UAAP Season 88 opener. That's it for today's episode. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Ingat!